Good morning. Today we continue with the Pilgrim's Progress. Christian at the House of Interpreter, getting more information about these two figures, passion and patience. Then said Christian to the interpreter, "Expound this matter more fully to me." So he said, "These two lads are figures, passion of the men of this world, and patience of the men of that which is to come. For as thou here seest, passion will have all now, this year, that is to say, in this world. So are the men of this world. They must have all their good things now. They cannot stay still till next year, that is, until the next world, for their portion of good. That proverb, 'A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush,' is of more authority with them than are all the divine testimonies of the good of the world to come. But as thou sawest that he had quickly lavished all away, and had presently left him nothing but rags, so will it be with all such men at the end of this world." Then said Christian, "Now I see that patience has the best wisdom, and that upon many accounts, because he stays for the best things, and also because he will have the glory of his, when the other hath nothing but rags." Interpreter, "Nay, you may add another, to wit, the glory of the next world will never wear out, but these are suddenly gone. Therefore passion had not so much reason to laugh at patience, because he had his good things first, as patience will have to laugh at passion, because he had his best things last. For first must give place to last, because last must have his time to come. But last gives place to nothing, for there is not another to succeed. He therefore that hath his portion first must needs have a time to spend it, but he that hath his portion last must have it lastingly. Therefore it is said of Dives, in thy life thou received good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted, and thou art tormented." Then I perceive, Christian said, it is best not to covet things that are now, but to wait for things that are come. Interpreter, "You say the truth, for the things that are seen are temporal, but the things that are not seen are eternal. But though this be so, yet since things present and our fleshly appetite are such as near neighbors to one another, and again because things to come in carnal sense are such strangers to one another, therefore it is that the first of these so suddenly fall into amity, and that distance is so continued between the second." Then I saw in my dream that the interpreter took Christian by the hand and led him into a place where was a fire burning against a wall, and one standing by it always, casting much water upon it to quench it, yet the fire did burn higher and hotter. And Christian said, "What means this?" The interpreter answered, "The fire is the work of grace that is wrought in the heart. He that casts water upon it to extinguish it and put it out is the devil. But in that thou seest the fire notwithstanding burn higher and hotter, thou also shalt see the reason of that." So he had him about to the back side of the wall, where he saw a man with a vessel of oil in his hand, of the which he also did continually cast, but secretly into the fire. Then said Christian, "What means this?" The interpreter answered, "This is Christ, who continually with the oil of his grace maintains the work already begun in the heart, by the means of which, notwithstanding what the devil can do, the souls of his people prove gracious still. And in that thou sawest that the man stood behind the wall to maintain the fire, this is to teach you that it is hard for the tempted to see how this work of grace is maintained in the soul." I saw also that the interpreter took him again by the hand and led him into a pleasant place where there was builded a stately palace, beautiful to behold, at the sight of which Christian was greatly delighted. He also saw upon the top thereof certain persons walked, who were clothed all in gold. Said Christian, "May we go in there?" The interpreter took him and led him up to the door of the palace, and behold, at the door stood a great company of men, as desirous to go in, but durst not. There also sat a man at a little distance from the door at the table side with a book, and his inkhorn before him, to take the name of him that should enter therein. He saw also in the doorway many stood, men in armor to keep it, being resolved to do to the man that would enter what hurt and mischief they could. Now was Christian somewhat in a muse at last, when every man started back for fear of the armed men. Christian saw a man of very stout countenance come up to the man that sat there to write, saying, Set down my name, sir. The which when he had done, he saw the man draw his sword and put a helmet upon his head and rush toward the door upon the armed men, who laid upon him with deadly force. But the man, not at all discouraged, fell to cutting and hacking most fiercely. So after he had received and given many wounds to those that attempted to keep him out, he cut his way through them all and pressed forward into the palace, where there was a pleasant voice heard from those that were within, even of the three that walked upon the top of the palace, saying, come in, eternal glory thou shalt win. So he went in, and was clothed with such garments as they. And so we will pick up there tomorrow as Christian continues to talk with interpreter. And just love that image of the wall with the flame, the waters of the devil trying to extinguish that flame, but that oil from Christ, the grace of God, his grace working in us, continually feeding the fire so that it continues to burn. That's a beautiful picture and a powerful one for us to think about today. I hope you have a good day.